Hi, thanks for watching. I just want to give a quick comparison between you and the top listings in the area to show you why they're outranking you and what you can do to change that. So I've taken your site and the top companies in the search results and put them into this tool that I have, and it shows me all the information that Google finds on your site and then rates its strength and its trust on a scale of 1 to 100. So you can see based on the numbers why these sites are outranking yours, but let me go into a little further detail on what these numbers mean and what you can do to change them. So I've got your website pulled up here. It's great that we can navigate and get all the information right at the top of the screen. I see that this works to send out an email. We should probably optimize this so that way it's a click to call because the majority of people are now searching on their mobile phones. So they want to be able to just hit that and it'll automatically call out. As far as Google is concerned, when it's looking to rank a website, it's going to do so based on two factors. The first is the content. So it doesn't really care too much about the layout of the pictures and the text. It's just going to come in and count all the words on the page. Now, it's generally looking for a minimum of about 1,500 to 2,000 words because it assumes that the more information you have on the page, the more of an expert you are, and the more likely it is to recommend you. Now, while it's counting the words, it's also looking for keywords. It should be anything that somebody's typing into Google search. Usually going to be a service that you offer and then an area that you offer it in. Now, this is where the number of words on the page really comes into play because you're only allowed to have one of these keywords for every 150 words of text on the page. And for instance, this is probably being picked up as a picture, but just because it's not in any kind of paragraph or text, it's probably not getting picked up at all because if we look at what Google is seeing is it's not finding any keywords. So it's between how the keywords are being labeled and then how little content you have on the page to be able to qualify to be found for any keywords. So we would definitely need to, in order to get picked up for some of these keywords so that way you show up in search, we just need to add some content onto the page and then put these keywords in organically into like the sentences and the paragraphs. That way Google can pick them up when it's reading the page. Just by comparison, if we take one of the competitors, just so I can show you, these are all the keywords and phrases that they're being found for. And then this is the volume, the estimated number of times per month that they're being searched. So this is where we do some research to find all the highest volume keywords and you make sure that they're obviously relative to the services that you offer and the areas you offer it in, but make sure that those are being found on your page. So for instance, installation contractor in Mass is being searched approximately 150 times a month. If you were on the first page of Google, 150 people would be seeing your website every month. Now, we're usually pretty conservative and say only 10% of those will actually turn into leads and contact you for service. And then I don't know what the conversion rate is for your business on what those leads turn into a job, but let's just say even only a third of those turn into a customer. You'd be looking at potential of 5 new customers every month just off of one keyword. And then we repeat that same process for all the other highest volume keywords in the area. And then obviously the job profit margin varies from job to job, but you can see how that kind of traffic and volume can definitely end up adding some revenue to the bottom line at the end of the month and at the end of the year. Now, the second way that Google is going to rank your website is based on its authority, which is pretty much just a popularity contest. Now, there are two ways for you to build authority. The first is through getting what's called citations, and those are any time that your name, address, and phone number are listed in an online directory. Those directories include Yelp, Yellow Pages, Better Business Bureau. They're usually free. It just takes some time to find them, register your business, and then input the information exactly as it's shown in Google. The second way to build authority is through what's called backlinks, which is when another website links or refers back to yours. Basically acts as an endorsement that Google uses to build trust because others are vouching for you. So just to quickly define this, if say the local news station did an article on the best spray foam insulation companies, the top 10 in Massachusetts, and in that article, the reader could click on a link and it would bring them to your website, that would be considered one backlink from one referring domain. So what we want to do is try to get more referring sites or domains than anybody else on this list, so that way Google would look at you as the authority and trust you the most. Now, just something to mention here is it's not just a matter of the quantity of these referring domains, it's also the quality. We can't just have any old website linking back to yours because Google understands that you're in the spray foam and insulation business. So it needs to be any kind of posting or blog sites, those directories, any news or media outlets with articles that are relative to your industry. So anything to do with home improvement, remodeling, construction, those types of things. Now, Google uses this authority and trust to determine where your website ranks in the how high it ranks up in this list of what we call the organic search results. Above that, this is what's called the map pack, which is actually a pretty important area to try to get into as well, because statistically speaking, nearly half the people searching will actually just click on one of these top three companies. Now, it is free to get listed in this map section. You just need to fill out your Google Business profile, which is inside of the Maps app, so you can do it right from a smartphone. When you're doing that, you want to fill out as much information as possible, including the services that you offer, the areas that you offer it in, even the hours of operation. Then you want to take photos that are geotagged within your service area and make sure you upload those as well as posts to your profile on a regular basis. Have customers leave you reviews, and then you want to get as many citations as possible. That name, address, and phone number. You want to be listed in more of those directories than anybody else on this list. So I hope this information was helpful and it allows you to scale some of your online presence. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or if you'd like me to go into any further details. We could also talk about your goals, and I could do some research to see what it would take for you to reach those. And I always appreciate getting feedback as well to find out if information like this is useful. So please let me know what you thought. Thanks, and I hope this helps.